In this video, we're going to reveal 7 things that surprisingly many women secretly adore, even though they rarely talk about them directly. And here's the shocking part. Most men have absolutely no idea these things matter so much. They spend years trying to impress women with money, looks, or status, while completely overlooking the small details that create real attraction and emotional connection. If you've ever wondered what truly goes on inside a woman's mind, what makes her think about a man long after he's gone, and what subtle behaviors instantly make her feel closer to someone, then stay with me until the end, because the final secret on this list is so powerful that many women feel it deeply, but almost never admit it out loud. Before we begin, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our future content. Now let's uncover the 7 things women secretly love but rarely confess. Many men believe that women will always tell them exactly what they want. But reality is very different. The truth is that women often communicate through emotions, subtle signals, body language, and small reactions that most men never notice. That's why so many men become confused. They think they're doing everything right, yet they still struggle to create a deeper connection. What they don't realize is that some of the things women appreciate the most are rarely spoken about openly, not because they're secrets, but because many women simply expect these things to happen naturally. And when they do happen, the emotional impact can be far greater than most men imagine. So, as we go through this list, pay close attention. You may discover that the smallest gestures often create the strongest attraction. Let's begin with number 1. Number 1. Gentle physical touch. This might sound simple, but its effect can be surprisingly powerful. A gentle touch on her hand, a warm embrace, or a relaxing shoulder massage can create a sense of comfort, trust, and emotional closeness. It's not about being overly romantic or trying. Number 2, natural and effortless flirting. This is something many men get completely wrong. They assume flirting requires clever lines, perfect timing, or some kind of secret formula. But that's not what most women find attractive. In fact, overly rehearsed compliments and forced conversations often have the opposite effect. What women usually enjoy is natural, confident, and relaxed flirting. A genuine smile, playful eye contact, a light-hearted joke, or a sincere compliment delivered at the right moment. These simple actions can create far more attraction than any scripted pickup line ever could. The reason is simple. Natural flirting feels authentic. It shows confidence without arrogance, interest without desperation, and charm without trying too hard. Many women secretly love those moments when a conversation flows effortlessly and makes them feel comfortable, appreciated, and emotionally engaged. So if flirting makes you nervous, remember this. You don't have to be perfect. You don't need a collection of clever lines. You don't need to impress anyone. The most attractive thing you can do is relax, be genuine, and allow your personality to shine through. Because confidence isn't about saying the perfect thing. It's about being comfortable enough to Number be 3, yourself. Gently stroking her hair. At first glance, this might seem like a very small thing, but for many women, it carries far more emotional meaning than most men realize. Hair is often connected to a woman's sense of identity, beauty, and self-expression. That's why a gentle touch through her hair can feel incredibly personal and intimate when the moment is right. It's not about the action itself, it's about the feeling it creates. A feeling of closeness, a feeling of affection, a feeling of comfort and emotional connection. Many women secretly adore these quiet, tender moments because they make them feel cared for without a single word being spoken. Of course, timing matters. A romantic evening together creates a very different atmosphere than a busy or stressful moment during the day. When the setting feels calm, comfortable, and natural, a simple gesture like brushing a strand of hair away from her face can leave a surprisingly deep impression. The reason is simple. People rarely remember every word that was said, but they often remember how someone made them feel. And sometimes, the smallest gestures create the strongest memories. That's what makes this simple act so powerful. Now let's move on to number 4. And this next one is something many women notice immediately, even when they never mention it. Placing your hand on her back. This may seem like one of the simplest gestures on this list, but for many women, it communicates far more than most men realize. Imagine you're walking together through a crowded place. Without saying a word, you gently place your hand on the small of her back. It's a subtle action, Yet it can create a powerful feeling of connection, comfort, and togetherness. Why? Because small gestures often speak louder than words. They show presence, they show attention, and they show that you're aware of her and the space around her. Many women secretly appreciate these moments because they feel natural rather than forced. There's no need for a grand romantic speech, no need for dramatic displays of affection. Just a simple gesture that quietly says, "I'm here with you." The same principle applies to other small expressions of affection. A reassuring touch on the shoulder, a warm hug after a long day, or simply standing close enough to make her feel comfortable and included. These actions create emotional warmth because they communicate care without demanding attention in return. And that's something many women deeply value. The interesting part is that most men underestimate the impact of these little moments. They focus on the big things while overlooking the gestures that often leave the strongest emotional impression. Now let's move on to number 5, because this next one isn't about physical attraction at all. It's about something that many women find even more important. Number 5, making her feel safe and secure. This is one of the most powerful emotional triggers in any relationship, but it's also one of the most misunderstood. Feeling safe is not just about physical protection, it's about emotional stability, consistency, and trust. Many women are naturally drawn to men who stay calm under pressure, think clearly in difficult situations, and handle challenges without losing control. Not because they want someone dominant, but because they want someone dependable, someone who doesn't panic easily, someone who doesn't create unnecessary drama. When a man can stay composed in stressful moments, it creates a silent sense of trust. And that trust builds attraction over time. It's not about being aggressive or controlling. In fact, excessive control does the opposite. True security comes from balance, strength without ego, confidence without arrogance, calmness without indifference. Many women secretly appreciate this kind of emotional strength because it makes them feel grounded and emotionally supported. It tells them, without words, "You're safe with me." And that feeling is far more powerful than any material gift or grand gesture. Now let's move on to number 6, and this one is surprisingly simple but emotionally very impactful. Number 6, saying you dreamed about her. This might sound like a small or even random detail, but emotionally, it can create a surprisingly strong impact. When you tell her she appeared in your dream, it instantly makes her feel like she occupies your thoughts even when you're not together. It adds a layer of emotional connection that feels personal and unique. Because dreams are private, they feel unfiltered, almost symbolic. So when someone says you were part of theirs, it naturally creates curiosity and emotional warmth. Many women secretly enjoy these kinds of comments because they feel meaningful, without being forced. It doesn't require expensive gifts or complicated efforts. Just a simple sentence delivered at the right moment can make her feel remembered and valued. However, the key is sincerity. If it feels forced or exaggerated, the effect is lost. But when it comes naturally in conversation, it can create a soft emotional spark that stays with her longer than you might expect. Because at its core, this isn't really about dreams, it's about attention and the feeling of being on someone's mind in a personal way. Now, let's move to the final point. And this last one is the most important of all.
Number 7, giving her your full attention. This is the final and most powerful point on this list. And honestly, it's the one most men underestimate the most. In a world full of distractions, phones, social media, constant notifications, genuine attention has become rare. That's why it has become so valuable when you're with her and you truly listen, not just hearing words, but understanding emotions behind them. It creates a deep sense of importance and emotional connection, remembering small details she mentioned before, asking meaningful questions, staying present instead of checking your phone. These simple actions send a very clear message: you matter to me. And that message is extremely powerful. Many women secretly value this more than expensive gifts, fancy dates, or impressive status, because attention creates emotional safety, and emotional safety creates attraction. When someone feels truly seen and heard, they naturally become more open, more comfortable, and more connected. And that connection is what builds strong relationships over time. Final thought: at the end of the day, attraction is not just about looks or money. It's about how you make someone feel in your presence. Consistency matters more than perfection. Presence matters more than words, and genuine care always leaves the deepest impact. If you understand that, you already have what most people are searching for.